So welcome to Between Two Pastries. I'm Nicole.
I'm Annie.
Today we're kicking off our interview series with our two delightful husbands.
Say hello.
This is Robin.
Hi.
And Brian.
Hello.
Excellent. Cool guys.
I just keep staring at the background. I don't know
the
what
background is really distracting. So Brian, tell us a little bit about this choice of background for you.
So my background is the scene from Pee-wee's Playhouse. You may remember that from Saturday morning cartoons when we were kids.
Yeah.
I read an article that was talking about how you can change your Zoom background. And I found this picture, and now I lost the article. I don't know how to change it back. So
that is
what we're going with.
So do you use this for all of your business meetings too?
We're not actually allowed to do Zoom for our business meetings because it takes up too much bandwidth. So this is just for personal use.
That's good.
That is good. That's awesome.
Good grief.
So I think one of our questions that we really wanted to ask was what it's like to be married to a dietitian.
Yeah.
Let's elaborate on that, Robin.
Yeah. Let's hear more. What do you mean?
No, it's not that much of a pain.
No.
We were just arguing about sound.
You look to the sky for the answer.
Yeah.
I think so. Last night I have a pork tenderloin with potato and some other items, and we do this thing now where I'm aware that 4 ounces, I believe, of meat protein is the serving that's appropriate. So to me, 4 ounces looks like 2 ounces, and I'm worried I'm not going to be full and happy afterwards. So I shell out about 8.6 ounces. We weigh it.
We weigh it because that's the fun thing to do. Like, let's weigh it. And then we guess like what it is. It's super fun for me, at least.
I'm reluctant to it, but
you like it.
Well, it's like a painful joy. So I think it's the ignorance that was bliss is becoming more apparent of knowledge. It's becoming knowledge. I think so. Ignorance is fading, and now it's becoming information. And I don't like it, but I appreciate it.
It's very kind of you. It's very well chosen in your words.
Yeah.
Brian, can you add to that at all?
Well, Robin, I think you really kind of hit the nail on the head in that ignorance really is bliss a lot of times. And when you're with somebody who then is pointing out your ignorance all the time, like, one of my favorite things is like a brownie from George's Bakery, right? We all know George from Sugar and Flour Bakery. Yeah. And, one day Annie's talking about it, and she's like, one of those brownies probably has like 750 calories in it. And I'm like, I've eaten 3 of them today along with all of my meals. That's probably not a good sign, So,
we do know too much.
Ignorance is nice.
You know too much. You're right, Annie.
We know too much.
Yeah. It's funny.
We know how disordered it is to know all of the calorie information, and like we just know all of that because like I have books on it. Brian's kid was asking yesterday what her and her friends were having a conversation about, what's better for you, an orange or a kiwi? So she comes and asks me, and I'm like, what the hell? Why would a kiwi be better than an orange?
Yeah.
And she's like, that's what I said. And then I pull out my portion guide, thick book of like every food known to man with like, it has listed like it's like a big math book. Yeah. Full of numbers, right?
Yeah.
And I look up an orange and I look up a kiwi and I go through each vitamin and mineral amount. And I'm like,
wow, we got all sciencey on her, didn't we?
Yeah. I did. And she like just wanted to know one or the other.
Right.
But we know too much information. It's like,
I know. It's
we just know it. And then it comes off on you guys.
Yeah. But the thing is I don't impose it. Like he typically asks.
Yes.
Unless I see something that's pretty extraordinary, then I'm like, okay. I'm actually doing a good service here if I just say a little.
What's an example?
Oh, I probably think like his meat portions in particular. I think is kind of the big thing, but
yeah, I think the sugar intake doesn't get smaller. We eat a lot of cookies and chocolates. So I'm really grateful that the dietitian I live with, we just chow down on the desserts. However, the portion size prior to that
in a practical manner. I mean, at least for me.
Is
Go
absurd.
ahead.
Can I just say, I think one of the other things is that I think living with a dietitian or being married to a dietitian, and maybe it's just my dietitian or maybe it's all dietitians, I'm not sure, have a tendency to think that everybody has an eating disorder.
They do.
Like,
duh. Everyone.
Like, I know, regardless of what I say, like, oh, geez, I'm not sure, maybe I should back off on the brownies from George after being told, that each one has 750 calories. And she's like, well, you don't want to restrict. That's an eating disorder. And it's like, all right, I don't know what to do.
Which one are you going to do? Yeah.
That's true. That does happen.
Yeah, I understand that. I do.
Yeah.
We've had to, you talk about meat portions. I think on this end, it's been more peanut butter portions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We've had to kind of like I will admit, I know everything that is in the pantry and the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I didn't even think about that. You're the food police too. I forgot about that.
No,
like,
never. No.
I don't police people.
Right.
I police areas. So I know, because I have to keep an inventory of everything.
Yeah.
So I know when a 24-ounce container of peanut butter is gone in a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like then you do the math on portion.
Yeah.
See, look at him, he's speaceless.
Brian needs it. Brian needs it though, so it's okay.
Why does Brian need it?
Because Brian expends a ton of calories.
Oh, in a good way.
Yeah, let's talk about Brian.
Okay.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, he needs the good calories. I'm happy that it's peanut butter.
Yeah, he does eat a lot of peanut butter, which is good.
Alongside of 4 George brownies. I get it.
Right,
You gotta have the peanut butter.
Actually, what he does is brownie, peanut butter, peanut butter.
Yeah.
So
eat it like a Big Mac.
Nice.
Like a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Are you
Did
both
you? Oh my
athletes?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday we had Happy Meals for dinner, and I was looking at the menu. They have a double Big Mac.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but do you know anything about the double Big Mac?
No, I was kind of appalled.
I mean,
So when we were coming home from Oklahoma, when George and I were coming home from Oklahoma from that bike race that George did, we stopped and got gas, and there was a McDonald's there, and he saw that, he had just done, like a 50-mile bike ride or whatever, and so he was hungry, and he was like, I'm going to try one of these double Big Macs. It is not a double Big Mac like you would think.
Oh.
What it is it's a regular McDonald's double cheeseburger with the Big Mac stuff on. So George got it expecting it to be like essentially 2 Big Macs, right? But it was actually less than a regular Big Mac. It was a smaller version.
Because picture on the screen yesterday was 4 burger patties.
Oh.
Maybe he ordered the wrong one, or maybe he got the wrong one. But he was extremely disappointed that it was not essentially 2 Big Macs in a stack.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be disappointing. But the picture was, there was they had a small one, like a cheeseburger with Big Mac toppings. They had the regular one and then this double, and it was 4 burger patties. Which
maybe he got
I'm totally cool with McDonald's. I don't, whatever. We enjoy our Happy Meals or, fish sandwiches or whatever. But that was a little much. What were we talking about? That was portions and your peanut butter.
Portions.
But now I want to know. Because since living here with Nicole, when I was single living an hour north, I would go to the Taco Bell and McDonald's occasionally, Culver's a little bit with my friends, but now I don't do any of that, which is good. I appreciate that. But now I really want to know, did I have the double Big Mac? Because I remember I had the Big Mac Extreme or something 2 years ago. It could have been that. Or
maybe, I don't know.
Of the Big
I'm
Mac.
not a Big Mac. Like, that's not my choice. So I guess I don't know all the different types of Big Macs.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Thousand Island dressing, so I've never been a huge Big Mac person either.
Oh, I didn't realize that was on there.
You just tapped in.
Yeah, it's like a California burger. But I like the spicy chickens and the Happy Meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more my. I get a toy then,
So what are your favorite foods? What are both of your favorite foods?
Go ahead.
Brian, you go first.
Well, I think we already discussed my
Peanut
abject
butter.
love of peanut butter.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm peanut butter, and I am like mega sweet tooth. If I were to just eat desserts for the rest of my life, I would be cool with that. Like, I'm not big into, like, obviously, like meat or what it's fine. I don't like get excited about, oh yeah, I'm going to get like a bacon wrapped tenderloin or, stuff like that, like what I would consider like a real man would eat. Like, I'm not down with that. I would just eat brownies all day, every day if I could.
How are you doing with giving up sweets for Lent?
I don't know. I mean, I'm doing certainly better than I thought I would.
Yeah.
We did have chocolate cake for our anniversary.
You did? Or you didn't?
Yeah, my dad made a cake, and so they've been leaving things in the garage for us.
Surprise!
Yeah, and so there was a chocolate cake, and so yeah, we did have a little bit of that on our anniversary. But other than that, yeah, I mean, you've been doing good with your Lenten promise.
It has not been easy.
Right. I bet.
What about you, Robin? Favorite foods?
Do we do that every year for Lent? Is that something you guys do every year?
We have since we had to we started sending Brian's kid Jocelyn to private school and to try to get her to, like be motivated to participate in Lent and everything. We've been participating in Lent.
Yeah.
And ironically, since then, she has somehow wiggled her way out of actually doing like oh yeah, I'm gonna give up desserts, and then she'll like switch it to something else, and then she'll like eat desserts in your face and be like, do you want some?
Nice.
It's been great.
Yeah, she's really
a trip.
Okay. I was curious on
so
that
it's more
history.
that way. Otherwise, no, we normally don't.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was appreciating your efforts and realized I would never do that.
No, we wouldn't either. No, without a child around.
I think Nicole would know pretty good what I like if she had to just say it. But I think I don't go crazy on like man meats, but I like pork and I love steak, and I've been on the search for how to eat steak and not affect my colon or bowels in ways that I've learned involve inflammation and lining of goo and fiber needing to be involved to get rid of the goo. So like pork tenderloin, had a big friend. Chicken I like, but not as much as steak. And, right? So I had a knowledge prior to this. Like, you gotta remember, right when I met Nicole, I had bought a $250 juicer, and I was like, oh, I love it when I drink it. I'm like,
no.
woo, yeah. And all the you're like, well, in a split second, I saw it. And this is, date 2. She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, no, what? And she explained how when you remove fiber, it becomes like you're drinking candy with vegetables involved. Yeah. And I was like, oh, so I haven't used the juicer since. But I like noodles, and I like meat, and I like cheese, and I like salads, and I like sauerkraut. So I chase, but I really like the noodles and the cheese and the meat.
Yeah. And living with an inflammation expert, that has to be challenging. Those are all inflammatory.
Oh, man.
You should see what my brother eats. Oh. He's really lucky.
Yeah.
He's really lucky he hasn't had an issue.
Oh, God.
Well, we just had that podcast come out with, what like if you and your spouse eat differently, and obviously we know you guys eat differently because of Nicole's allergies and stuff like that.
Right.
What did you listen to it? What did you guys think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I listened to it, and I don't know. I mean, as much as I joke around, I will say that being married to a dietitian is really like probably the best thing in the history of the world for somebody like me who like my default is, like I said, if I was on my own, I would eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for breakfast and lunch, and then I would eat a brownie for dinner, and that's what my meals would be 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
It is when I'm out of town.
That's true. It's exactly like that's my default.